Dear students, welcome back to my class. So today we are starting with the fifth chapter, that is population ecology. Let's move. In the previous classes I have already mentioned what does mean by population. So for you, I am again repeating the definition of population. That is, population is defined as the assemblage of interbreeding individuals of the same or closely related species which is living together in a definite area of the biosphere. Or more clearly, population is nothing but it is a group of similar or close related individuals which is coming under one species or same species. For example, human population consisting of only Homo sapiens. In Periyar Sanctuary, we can see different kinds of animals. If we are taking only the population of tiger, we can say that it is a tiger population, although it is a population of tiger only. Okay. Then, generally, populations are of two types. Depending upon the nature of the population, they are classified into two categories: monospecific and polyspecific. Monospecific means all the members belongs to that particular population is coming under one species. Okay, for example, human population. And polyspecific means if members belong to this particular population consist of closely related species, not similar species, but they are closely related, look similar. Okay, they are called polyspecific. Okay, and nowadays we can say that the polyspecific can be attributed to what? Community. Okay, so these are the two different types of population. Do you know something? What are the basic? What is the basic idea or some of the basic features of a population? Let's see. The first one is, as per the definition, a population is a group of similar or same species, and they are, as they are coming under one species, they are morphologically as well as anatomically similar. As they are morphologically as well as anatomically similar, we can say that they may be genetically related, and they are having a power of reproduction. They are reproductively isolated from other species, which means all the members belongs to this particular population is able to interbreed and produces fertile offsprings, but not with other species. Okay, that is called a reproductive isolation. Okay, then all this population will always maintains a geographic boundary. Beyond that boundary, there will be no exchange of genetic material, or beyond that boundary, they will not move out. Then we know that populations are never be in an equilibrium or static state, right? They are always moving in either increase or decrease. So it always in a state of, we can say it in a state of dynamism, right? Okay. So these are the basic idea of a population. Okay. Then let's move. What are the factors which generally depends upon the population size? These are the 10 different factors that generally affecting a population size. Okay, so we will discuss the detail of each one. Okay, so first one is density. We know that what is meant by density. Density is nothing but it is a number of individuals or a species or the total mass which is present in a particular area at a particular period of time. That is called a density. For example, if you are taking 1 liter of water, how many bacteria are found in this 1 liter water? So we will get a number. Okay, that will be the density of that particular bacteria in that water. And we can determine this density by a formula that is called density equal to n by A divided by T. Here small n represents the number of organisms, and A represents the area or volume, and T represents the unit of time. For example, in this example itself, n will be a particular number of bacteria, and A will be the volume. Here it is 1 liter. So in 1 liter, how many bacteria are found? It will be the density of that bacteria. Okay, and it will be calculated in a fixed period of time, that will be T. Okay, and this density depends upon various factors. What are they? The birth rate, death rate, many environmental factors, biotic components. Biotic factors, migratory movements, in and out movement of organisms, seasons, climate, and also availability of food material. Clear? Then comes natality. Natality can also be termed as the birth rate. Okay, it is the average number of young ones which is produced in a population in a fixed period of time. And we can express this natality as the production of new individuals. Okay, as we know that when new individuals are added, it in turn causes the increasing in the population size. And this natality is species specific, right? For example, cat will produces this much of individuals, elephant will produces this much of individuals. So this the natality rate is somewhat fixed. Okay. Then generally there are two different types of natality: maximum natality and ecological natality. If we are theoretically says that this organism will produces this much of this population is having this much of individuals, that prediction is called a maximum natality. While if the production of new individuals are found in a particular environmental, the real environmental conditions, that is called ecological natality. So the real increase in the population is termed as ecological natality, while the theoretical prediction of any population increase or population size is called the maximum natality. And we can define the natality by a formula, that is the number of individuals which is produced per unit time divided by the average population. In an average population, how much new individuals are produced, that is called the natality. Then comes mortality, the quite opposite condition. Mortality is nothing but it is a death rate. How many individuals are dying in a population during a particular period of time. And we can express this mortality as the loss of individuals of a population. And just like in natality, this is also two types, that is potential mortality and realized mortality. Potential means the death which occurs by means of old age. We know that by means of old age there is no much decreasing in the size, right? So it is also called a minimum mortality. While realized mortality means it occurs due to environmental factors like predation, diseases, various calamities to all stages, from gametes, young ones, adults, etc. For example, in this case, you may be knowing that the coronavirus is a pandemic situation right now. It is affecting all individuals, and it mainly occurs by means of what? A disease. So this is called a realized mortality, and here also it can be detected, or it can be defined by means of, or we can determine by means of a formula, that is mortality equal to total number of death which is occurs per unit time in the average population. Okay. Then what does mean by age distribution? Age distribution is another factor which is affecting the population. Age distribution, we know that in a population there will be if you are considering a human population, you can see different stages of pupil. Right? So this ratio of the number of individuals of the different age group of a population is called age distribution, and we can divide the age group into three different categories, that is pre-reproductive, which includes young ones, reproductive, which includes matured individuals, and post-reproductive, which includes old age individuals. So the rate of this age distribution is mainly the ratio of this density as well as the population size is mainly dependent upon by the age distribution. Okay, if there is a high pre-reproductive period and reproductive period, we can say that the population is increasing, or it causes the growth of population. And if there is a low pre-reproductive and reproductive and a high post-reproductive, we can say that there is a decline of population. So in a stable population, there will be a constant ratio of pre-reproductive, reproductive as well as post-reproductive period, right? Then comes biotic potential. Biotic potential is also called breeding potential. It is the inherent ability of an organism to produce maximum individuals and thereby and its multiplication. Okay, so it is realized only when the environmental conditions are optimum and non-limit. If the environmental conditions are optimum or in an average level, then only the biotic potential or the breeding potential of a particular organism will be very high. Okay, so when the biotic potential is very high, it indicates that there will be high birth rate and maximum natality, which indicates the population is moving in a faster way. And we know that there is another terminology is used in population, that is called environmental resistance, that we will discuss later. And this environmental resistance is nothing but it is a opposition or a destruction which is made by the nature when the population becomes very high. So when the biotic potential becomes very high, the environmental resistance come into action and it will reduces the population. Okay, so this biotic potential is generally increasing in the population size, while environmental resistance is generally decreasing in the population. So these two factors are generally maintained, two opposing forces, which means when biotic potential increases, environmental resistance decreases. So these are two opposing forces that are mutually balancing way of interaction for making a normal maintenance of a population. And this biotic potential of an organism or a species is mainly depends upon the frequency of reproduction, the length of the reproductive period, then the litter size, which means how many young ones are produced, and also the early onset of the reproduction in life. Okay. Then comes environmental resistance. That I already told you that what is meant by environment. It is a natural preventing mechanism against infinite multiplication of organism and also the unexpected growth of population. And if the environmental resistance is very high, the birth rate will be very much reduced, so that the population will be in a decreased stage or in a reverse state. And the main examples of this environmental resistance are diseases, calamities, scarcity of food and resources, competition, parasitism, all those things. Okay, actually in a population at the initial stage, the environmental resistance is very low, so that the population is able to undergo multiple growth or rapid growth, but at a particular level it undergoes a crash decline, and this crash down is mainly produced by means of the action of this environmental resistance. Then comes carrying capacity. It is highest number of individuals in a population. In a population, there will be a state in which there will be highest number of individuals, and this stage is called the carrying capacity. So carrying capacity is the highest number of individuals of a species in which a particular environment is able to support indefinitely with the available resources which is present in that area. And if the population grows below the carrying capacity, it will fluctuate or rapidly decline in the population size. And after that, the population will crash down and thereby causing the reduction in the number of individuals. Okay, so that is called the carrying capacity. And knowing that what is meant by migration. Migration is nothing but it is a mass movement which is in the season, which generally occurs in seasons or in years by means of certain highly specialized species for obtaining the optimum environmental condition, generally for feeding as well as breeding. And migration is a type of population dispersal. Okay, for example, seasonal migration of birds, fishes and mammals. And immigration means nothing but it is the inward movement of individual from other areas. It generally increases the size of population. And emigration means the quite opposite of immigration. It is the increasing. It is the movement of organism out of the population. Okay, so continuous immigration generally leads to the depopulation of that area, and it can be maintained by enhancing the reproductive potential and decreased mortality. Then what does mean by population growth? It is a numerical change in the population size with a net either an increase or decrease in the number of individuals. Okay, and it is mainly depends upon the ratio between the number of individuals added or it is lost from it, and depends upon natality, mortality, migration, immigration as well as immigration. And there are generally 3 different types of population growth: zero growth, positive growth and negative growth. Zero growth, there will be a equilibrium state. Positive growth, there will be an increasing in the population, and negative growth, there will be decreasing in the population growth. Okay, so these are the main factors which generally depends upon the population size.